All right, Nintendo Switch. A lot of cool titles are coming out later this year. One of the few titles that a lot of people aren't really talking about that's supposed to appear on the Switch is basically a dungeon crawler RPG known as Mary Skelter 2. And for those who do not know, basically Mary Skelter 2 is basically going to be the Switch port of the original game that came out for the PlayStation Vita, Mary Skelter Nightmares, and that came out back in October of 2016. Basically, this game is one that was developed and published by Compile Heart and Idea Factory, and it was released internationally back for the PlayStation Vita, which is kind of baffling because, the PlayStation Vita wasn't really that popular. And I think, in terms of sales, I don't think it managed to reach even like 20 million units worldwide in relation to sales. So the PlayStation Vita may have been a poor choice to put Mary Skelter 2 on. But for those who didn't play it on the PlayStation Vita, I'm pretty sure that's, a lot of people, basically you'll get a chance to play it on the Nintendo Switch. And basically the plot for this game is interesting because it involves breaking out of jail while controlling the main character named Jack, who is in prison with his friend named Alice. And as far as the action in this game is concerned, it looked like it's something that a lot of people who are fans of traditional dungeon crawler RPGs from, I guess, any decade, whether it be the 2000s or the 90s, look like something that they would easily get into. And as far as how much of a success this game will be on Nintendo Switch is one that is hard to say because as it currently stands, we don't have too many big, high-profile dungeon crawler RPGs on the Switch console. And since this is not a first-party game like anything Nintendo would produce in relation with Mario or Zelda or whatever, still a lot of people would definitely, check this out if they own a Nintendo Switch and if they're fans of the RPG genre. But, the Mary Skelter 2 is supposed to be coming out on the Switch, in countries like America, sometime later this year on a date that has yet to be revealed. And as far as, whether or not it's going to be a success, it's hard to say, only because as far as, gaming is concerned in the West, it's very different from what you would see in Japan and what's popular over in Japan. In the West, I guess RPGs are popular to some extent, depending on, the story and all that stuff. But at the same time, it definitely has the potential to stand out more than it did a couple of years ago back in 2016. So we'll just have to wait and see what the release date for Mary Skelter 2 is going to be. And we're going to have to just wait and see whether or not it will stand out more on the Switch console than it did for the PlayStation Vita a couple of years ago.